Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, the show where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alex.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John, Yu Yu Hakusho, episode 25, because this season only has 25 episodes. Kuwabara's Fight of Love. Japan, April 10th, 1993. USA, April 7th, 2003. Which should give you a nice, easy to grok thing of how big the gap was between these airings.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're at the fight now. We're wrapping up essentially the first season of Yu Yu Hakusho. We get to see Kuwabara's big fight. Kuwabara also gets to be drawn the prettiest he's ever been drawn in the series so far in this episode.
Yes. Also, if I may, what is up with younger Toguro's collarbone?
Just it
He
looks it. He's a demon. He's a demon. That's what's up.
he just has a muscle there, which I can't quite work out what that muscle would be doing. Like it's like holding his lungs up, maybe.
That is the muscle that's making his collarbone stronger, so that when he flexes his pecs, he can like shoot air out of them.
He's taken so many steroids, he's developed new muscles.
Yes.
He's taking the demon steroids in such a way. But yeah,
It does. He
oh,
looks
go
like a
for it.
turtle because of it, though. I will say, I kept expecting his head to duck in.
There is something very I do like the body horror of the Toguro brothers because that's actually going to be a bit of a plot point going into the Dark Tournament. Like they're supposed to look not quite right. And boy, do they.
Yes, this is basically a straight up arena fight where we basically just get Yusuke and Kuwabara and Botan, who is here for the ride, just facing down the brothers.
They're
While
here in the
watched by
ring.
they're watched and yeah, it's we've got people betting for them. There's a lot of there's a surprising number of spectators to this final duel.
And it's fun. And once again, Yusuke and Kuwabara are firmly and well outclassed by what is in front of them.
There's a shot where Yusuke, uses spirit gun on the one of the Togoros, gets blocked and just gets mollywopped. Just gets like
Yusuke's
Destroyed.
being thrown left, right, and center. Kuwabara gets leveled a couple of times. It's impressive the amount of violence.
Yeah, those two actual factual children sure are getting the crap kicked out of them.
yeah. Meanwhile, you've got Hiei, trying to seize his revenge. There's like flashback sequences with like broken wrists. There's a lot. There's a lot going on in this final episode for season one.
Yeah, there is. I do love the Togoros. I like their gimmick is battle shaping, as they call it in Japan, where the older one, who is the parity one, can become various items. And we do see him change quite a few times. He becomes a sword, he becomes a shield, he becomes like a buckler thing.
Yeah.
It's quite cool. Kind of wish the fight had gone on a bit longer. I would love to see what else they could do with him.
Who knows what else can be done with
Yeah,
him? But
I
yeah,
was spoiled by the next Dom when it was called Toguro Returns. Like, oh, okay.
no. Like so beyond the spoiler of the next time on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I like the Decoros having such deeply different powers but knowing how to synergize them well because I think that's also a good reflection of Yusuke and Kuwabara where in reality the spirit sword and the spirit gun are not that different. They just function differently, but both teams are able to use those things to their advantage.
So a big thing in this fight is so spoiled for the end. The ending is that Kuwabara has the idea, well, I can't stab him, so why don't you spirit gun me in the back, and that will get me going fast enough. Like they say, the scores are things like, oh, we fight as one in unison. It's like two different approaches to fighting in unison here, where it's like they work as a team perfectly and they complement each other. Yusuke and Kuwabara don't complement each other, and that's why their final attack works. They work together as a unit and are willing to throw themselves at the problem. It's a very nice way of handling it.
And it's cool. It's a fun little shot. It also reminds me very much of that one Dragon Ball Z thing when Goku is telling Gohan to bounce the spirit bomb back at Vegeta with no idea if it's going to kill Gohan or not.
Yeah. It'll work out.
It's fine. You're a good guy. There's no such thing as friendly fire in shonen anime.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but I do like they do have Kuwabara burning after it. Like his back is like scorched. It does kind of imply that yeah, he did take a massive hit from that.
It wasn't comfortable for Kuwabara.
To be fair, we can do this kind of thing with these guys because we have already set up they can take a hellacious amount of punishment and keep going, so it does open this door up.
That is kind of the key thing to remember about Yusuke and Kuwabara is that you can keep beating the ever-loving crap out of them, but they will keep coming, and that's what gives them the advantage that they have.
I also do like the Toguro brothers being much quieter than Suzaku and stuff we've had before. Like they keep up their thing of like, well, we're just professionals. We're doing our job. We don't really take any joy in this. Yeah, it's nice to have like not every villain be cackly, monologue every 20 seconds. And again, it's nice that unlike Suzaku, who was getting frustrated with Yusuke, they don't rise to the bait either, which is a nice difference.
Yeah, like they're kind of above it in a way that Suzaku just really wasn't. Suzaku had something to prove. The Toguro brothers have already proven everything they needed. They just need to kill this kid.
Kill this kid and make out with money.
We were talking about Street Fighter influence on one of the earlier episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho. And if I can get my frame rate there it goes. The the Toguro brothers remind me of Chang and Choi from Fatal Fury, which is to say the little Freddy Krueger handed person and the gigantic steel ball person. They kind of have that constant like perch when they first walk into battle.
I like that. That's actually a good comparison.
Yeah, it's either that or Farah and Tor from like Mortal Kombat X, but I'll go with Fatal Fury first.
Yeah.
More 90s.
More 90s.
Yeah. And more of a contemporary. I don't, I'm trying John, when did you say this aired again? 93?
93 was the original airing.
Well, Fatal Fury
Fatal Fury would be just coming Neo Geo.
Yeah, but the problem is I think Chang and Choi get introduced in Fury 3. So
Neo Geo tourist that I am.
Yeah.
Maybe they fed it. Maybe this fed into that,
Yeah, maybe the SNK saw Yu Yu Hakusho was like, we could do that.
We could do that. That's easy.
Yeah.
We like small, weird people who rest on things.
Yeah, on giant, bigger people.
It is interesting because we do manage to rescue Yukina. Yay. But Hiei also shows up. Oh no.
Yeah, Hiei got the blood.
Hiei surprisingly, that was my only downside. Hiei is surprisingly reserved because we see him take out a guard, and the guard is just on the floor with white stuff around his face, looking just unconscious. Like based on how Koenma was kind of bigging it up, I kind of presumed he'd just be smeared across a wall.
Yeah, Koenma was hyping this up like Hiei was going in there to have a full-on Nightmare on Elm Street style bloodbath, and turns out no, he was just there to get his lick back.
Like even when he gets the final guy, he just punches. He gets stopped by Yukina, but he's just punching him. Like he's not like this is less violent than what we saw you doing against Siryu. Like I was 100% walk past and the guy just fall into little bits.
Can we talk about when he's punching him, how good of a job the colorists were doing on Tarukane's head? That like awful green purple bruising that started immediately
was very horrible.
It's a gross color combination that gets across everything you need to know. Also, again, everybody's getting drawn real pretty this episode because you get big cheeks, big eyes. Hiei.
I just like the image of when Hiei walks in because he's so short.
He's so little.
Yes, but and Chuck Huber always does the shorter characters, right?
She has a short, evil voice.
Yeah.
His characters are either short or evil or both, and he has a short, evil voice.
Garlic Jr., the other
Android 17.
Android 17, but Android 17 isn't short.
But he's evil.
Depending on the continuity, sure.
He's spiritually short.
Spiritually, he's got Napoleon syndrome.
What is the other? Oh, Pilaf. Pilaf's a huge character.
Yeah. I just imagine that from Tokuna's perspective, that this like weird 7-year-old has come into your office and has started punching you in the face. I know you're a criminal, but how did you react to that?
Yeah,
Excuse me, small
for me
child.
that was Tuesday.
Not again.
Again, and also, of course, the other thing I really like about that scene is just that Kurama was there the whole time, posing, waiting to be acknowledged.
So he got there faster than Hiei did. And had time to find a place in the shadows, pose in it, where no one noticed him. How long has he been in that room? And does Yukina know he's just been there like, hmm?
We see Kurama earlier though, right?
We do. We see him with Koenma, which is one of my. I really like that scene because he's like, oh, I can't be here. Voyeurism isn't my thing. And then he leaves, and the demon's like, oh, where's he going? And Koenma's like, yeah, well, he's going there, obviously. Like, we're not stupid enough to think he's not going there. Which it was nice to see Koenma be like vaguely savvy for a moment. Like, yeah, no, we know what he's doing.
Hmm.
I really appreciated that the way he showed up, just to be like, yeah, you're not so bad after all. And he is like, no, I'm so bad.
Maybe you should tell that girl that she's your sister. Like, no, it's okay.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna push the argument. This is a you thing, baby.
Instead, we will sit here and watch as Kuwabara flirts with her.
Yeah, and we're gonna be very comfortable with Kuwabara flirting with her, aren't we, Hiei? We're gonna be so cool about it.
We're not gonna kill Kuwabara. I will say I do like Kuwabara's bit with her at the end. It is surprisingly heartfelt. His whole thing of like, you must hate humans, but there are some good ones. Give us a chance. It's in character, but very like heartfelt for him. Again, plays into him being more community minded than Yusuke is. That he naturally is going to be able to tell that actually, yeah, she's probably quite upset because of what's just happened. And the fact his first thing is dealing with the burn on her wrist, I think is also a nice little touch.
Yeah, I like that. In a lesser shonen, it would have been like the moment for the romantic goofball comedy thing, like somebody getting the fan to the face sort of thing. But no, this is played very straight and very much. And Kuwabara is being very mature with that. He's not coming out the gate being like, "Oh my God, Yukina, I love you. Let's kiss." No, it's the, "Hey, this is really rough, and I can understand why you would hate humans. Please don't hate us."
Yeah, they give Yusuke the joke here, which is with him trying to subtly convince Botan we should go and leave them alone. Which is it's a nice joke, and it works perfectly acceptably.
And Yusuke being the best wingman Yusuke.
We're covering this as a season finale, but as we know, like Dragon Ball and One Piece and everything, this wasn't divided into a typical season structure. Do we think that, like, Alyx, as our resident Yu Yu Hakusho expert, is this a good place to call season one? Or is it like,
yeah, it really is a good place to call season one, because as we saw in the spoilerific next time on Dragon Ball Z, the Toguros come back, and that leads into the that is immediately into the dark tournament. So this gives us a chance to like take a breather. It gives us a good stopping point, because this is basically the end of the Spirit Detective arc.
Yeah.
Like, this is the end of Yusuke getting specific cases that he has to go after until we get to Sensui later on. Like, this is, okay, Yusuke is established, everybody's powers are established, the band is together. Time for a tournament arc, you guys.
It also speaks to how relentless the pacing is, right? Like, right after, because it's been pseudo, not quite tournaments, but very kind of like video game, like gauntlet style storytelling ever since. Like where we got the actual tournament. Now that I think about it, where Kuwabara actually, lets his spirit freak flag fly for a bit.
Yeah, no, it's been very, very good. This is certainly not the worst place an anime will leave for a season. Breeding Center Secret springs to mind.
No.
Very famously, Pokemons are all over the place. But yeah, no, this is at least if you remember, some of the anime series, end of their seasons wouldn't end an arc, it'd be midway through, because American networks brought TV shows in very specific numbers.
Yeah. Like knowing what comes next does make me think like, yeah, this is a good place to say we've ended this saga essentially. And it's interesting too, because the Spirit Detective arc, right? You have a bunch of villains. You have Rando. You have the, oh my God, I'm already forgetting the Saint Beasts. You have the Tarukane guys. You have the introduction of Toguro. A lot happens in 25 episodes. This was only 25 episodes.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
doing this for 14 weeks. Yeah.
Like that's kind of crazy when you think about how much ground we've covered when the Frieza fight alone is 40 episodes in Dragon Ball Z.
Well, you remember we did, like 5, 6 weeks of Sailor Moon, and we hadn't got the main cast yet.
No, I'm still waiting, as far as we're concerned, not movie notwithstanding, I'm still waiting for the rest of the Sailor Scouts.
So the fact we've introduced all of our main cast, we've had 3 sets of villains we've killed. Like we've got quite a rate.
And we've set up a nice, bigger, wider world because, now we have the idea of like the ice apparitions are clearly very different from the other demons. Now we know that Spirit World is employing Hiei and Kurama. Like there's so much that's been set up going forward. Yeah, I would say that this is a good season break for one of these anime.
Yeah, and we have Hiei's like lingering backstory as well, which is also nicely there.
Yeah, he a lying to Yusuke really quick. Just so I don't know. I genuinely don't know if this is a retcon or if Hiei is just outright lying to Yusuke. But in the Three Kings arc, which is way later, Hiei and Yukina are fraternal twins. They are full blooded siblings. So I don't know what Hiei is saying here.
To be fair, Hiei does seem the type to be a bit of a weird. Actually, I can kind of see it because I think it's kind of a backup plan because he can't trust. Because you look at these people he's with, you can't trust them to keep their mouths shut.
Yeah. I mean, Kurama knows, but the thing is, now we've established everybody knows except for Kuwabara.
Yeah,
Kuwabara doesn't know that Yukina is Hiei's sister.
probably for the best. Gonna be an awkward Thanksgiving in that household.
Oh yes, famous Japanese Thanksgiving.
Maybe it'll be like chicken. It could be like Chicken Christmas.
I know. Maybe Demon World has Thanksgiving.
You don't know. You don't know what the colonization was like.
only Hiei celebrates he celebrates Life Day probably.
Frieza Day. But yeah, like so. Since we are at the end, I'm not asking for final thoughts, but I am kind of curious your general thoughts about the first season. Like, what do you think about the first season so far?
Well, I mean, like you were saying and John was saying, we covered 25 episodes. We covered a lot of narrative ground. We keep invoking Dragon Ball because we all love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, if we're going by home video releases, also by Funimation. The first, at least if we're talking about the way Funimation groups them. The first season's like 39 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was the Ocean dub left out, I want to say like 9 of those, but yeah, it's like comparatively we've covered so much ground. Remember when like Yusuke was dead? Remember how not long that lasted? Having not thought about Yu Yu Hakusho in decades, I thought he was dead longer. He's not.
That long. Just it really gets you hooked into the premise, though.
Yeah, that does make you think. I like remembering that whenever says, "Oh, I'll send you to the spirit world." Like, well, they're back out in 20 minutes. And then I know Koenma. It's not going to be like a long trip.
It's kind of like being with Shenron.
Yeah, just go chill with Koenma for 20 minutes, come back. I think it's amazing that we've had this sort of 25 0. I can only think of one episode I've actively disliked, and that was last week. And that even really wasn't a problem with the episode. That was an episode dating poorly. Like we've never let up. We've kept a good pace, but we've never moved too fast. I think it's a tricky balance. There's always something going on, but everything feels built up enough that it matters. And yeah, they've avoided the temptation of making Yusuke overpowered, which I think is a big reason a lot of shonen shows kind of die very quickly, is because the writers will block themselves into a corner, overpower the hero, and then have to come up with increasingly ludicrous ways to deal with them. Here, they've done a really good job of keeping a nice cap on Yusuke. Like, Yusuke's biggest power boost in this has been the addition of Kurama.
Yeah. Once you add Kurama in, everybody's overpowered.
It's like we have a second guy, and that's what is going to be Yusuke's main power-up. It's going to be he's fighting alongside people now, and that, of course, means we can add and remove them as needed to keep things even. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been tense. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't fallen back on, I'm impressed that, while I would have liked more Toguro Brothers in this episode, I like that we haven't gone to the one fight an episode move yet. Like some episodes will blast through 3, sometimes we'll stick on just 1. It does keep you guessing.
mean, that's something I've always really appreciated about Yu Yu Hakusho. I know I've mentioned it a couple times, is that the fights never feel formulaic. Because I love shonen, and I know I talk a lot of shit on shonen that I like when we talk about these things. But like, My Hero Academia is a favorite shonen of mine. But when you get to a certain point in the show, those fights get really formulaic, and you start to understand where, like, what's going to happen beat for beat. It happens in a lot of shonen, and I appreciate that Tagashi is enough of a deft enough writer to avoid a lot of those problems, and that carries over to Hunter x Hunter too. Hunter x Hunter is always keeping you on your toes, and that is why I'm sad it's never going to be finished.
Yeah.
One of my favorite little things they've been doing in this is teasing alternative endings a lot. Like even in this film, Tarukane in this episode, when Yusuke is starting to win, Tarukane says, "Go get the helicopter," and you get two guys running off to do that, and we immediately. Like you think, okay, he's won. Oh, has he won? Is there like a failure state here where, Tarukane gets away with her and we have to chase the helicopter? Even in like Saint Beast stuff, we've established that, oh, maybe there's a different way of facing this guy. Maybe there's a situation where, Keiko loses to the zombies. We have to rescue her. It keeps you on your toes by always suggesting that this isn't rote. Like, just beating the villain may not be enough to win the day. Like, it's not like a video game where you kill the boss and all the minions vanish. And I think that does so much to make this world feel more exciting and more alive. Because it isn't just kill this guy, next guy, kill this guy, next guy. It's, well, you've got to think about this. What could happen here? As we bring in, Toonami had a bit of a weird one with this episode, edits-wise.
Oh,
so obviously a lot of the Miyuki stuff was cut in the recap. So they saw that down good. Weirdly, there's a scene of... Tarukane Yukina and the Black Club, where it pulls back in the recap. Toonami cut that and replaced it with a very janky close-up of the Toguro Brothers. And I don't know why. There's nothing in that scene that's off. There's no smoking, no violence, no, just gone. The cuts in the scene are mostly just lots of violence going away. So whenever like blood comes out of Yusuke's mouth, that gets gone. A lot of the, just in general, the very strong punches to the stomach get cut, but they cut around them quite nicely, so we just have impact discretion, which if you do it, is the way to do it. The big problem, though, is Sakio and his cigarette. They keep having to cut around that. My personal favourite one of that is they change it to a ballpoint pen again for exactly one scene. So they're clearly trying and realising that he's moving it too much. We can't do that. There's a lot of scenes where he's just a still image as well on the screen. Everyone else is moving and he's just still. It's like, they really have just such a hard time with doing it.
Wait till we get to the Dark Tournament, and that's going to be a much bigger issue in the Dark Tournament when we get, spoiler alert, Sakio gets to be there in person.
Yay! Let's hope he's got some nicotine gum. Weirdly, the oddest one is when Yusuke calls out for Kuwabara when he gets knocked down, they cut that. You don't see Kuwabara, and they keep, they impact discretion the shot, but I don't know. One of the weird edits, and there's also, they cut Botan saying that they have to do something because Hiei is forbidden from taking a human life. He'll be punished severely. They just cut that scene entirely, which again is another odd one, because you'd think you would... There had to be a way of writing around that to have Botan still be involved, to be like, we should stop Hiei before he does something he regrets, maybe?
We should stop Hiei before he sends him to the Shadow Realm.
It's just a very, exterminated. You got he before he gets Hiei'd.
I'll send you to the other dimension.
I'll send you over there.
Over there, into the timeout corner.
So wait, does Hiei take out the four... Sorry if you just mentioned this. Does Hiei take out the four men in the office?
Yes, but there is no blood. Oh. He just goes bump and they go down. No worse than your average karate Spock chop.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kurama watching from the corner being like, that's my guy, not killing anybody.
I'm sure they'll be fine having no oxygen to their brain.
Yeah.
For more than 5 minutes.
Yeah. All they've got to do is sort of find a family whose baby isn't around and become their baby and live with them for 400 years. They'll be right as rain.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
Yeah, I now kind of like the idea of Kurama as like not having any of human medical works. It's just like it's fine, just shrug it off.
Shrug it off. Use one of your tails to become a human baby.
Positive mental attitude.
That's what Kurama is all about.
And then there's just a load of obviously a lot of weird dialogue changes, which is the usual hells to hex and all of that. It is just the highlight of this whole thing is just all the cigarettes because they're so clear. I think it's about sort of the fourth one. You get the impression they've given up because it just goes to okay, Sakio no longer moves. Sakio is staying stock still the rest of the episode until he learns to behave.
We're putting him in the naughty animation corner.
Because the ballpoint pen doesn't work. Also, is he bringing the ballpoint pen to his mouth repeatedly?
He has an oral fixation.
He does, but how they angle it makes it look like he's about to draw in his own face. Which
made me... I'm taking notes.
Which for a minute made me wonder. Did for a brief second, because we see the flashback, Yukina's flashback, where she meets the guy who does look a bit like Sakio. I was like, is the reveal going to be he wipes the scar off his face? He's like, ha ha ha! I've been drawing it on the whole time. I'm actually the guard you shot.
It's me, Barry. I'm the one who pushed you down the stairs.
It was always me.
It was always me, Barry. I was your date to prom.
Now let's go film at Science World again for some reason. You can't unsee it once you know it's in everything.
Yeah, see it at that point.
God knows. Now that you've mentioned it, because they're in, God damn, how often are they in Star Labs in that show?
Every 30 seconds.
Every 30 seconds they're in Star Labs.
So, random, if you go with the joke I'm making there, if you look up Science World, tell us World of Science, Science World in Vancouver, you will see it in every TV show that films in Vancouver uses it for something. The Flash uses it continually, to the point if you do there's a walking tour of filming locations in Vancouver, you can do four-fifths of the tour is just the block around Science World. You don't go anywhere else.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Unless you're in the new Avatar show where they are at the Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden, which is especially funny.
That is hilarious, actually.
Because it basically, if you turn 2 feet to the left, there is a tower block next to you. So it's yes, the Fire Empire are here. They're here to buy some cheap bow.
You're gonna buy some cheap bow.
They would, and they would.
They would. They won't even tip.
Yeah.
They're going to
the Fire Nation doesn't tip.
No.
They're going to the Cat Cafe in the Olympic Mall.
Oh God.
I need to go back to Vancouver.
You do, and to go to the Olympic Mall and have a depressing time. Not sponsored by the Olympic Mall.
We should be sponsored by the Olympic Mall. Fun fact.
No, please, not. I don't have to go there. It is so funny because this episode is just they've kind of finally grasped how to deal with the violence in this show, and now we've got Mr. Cigarette here to make our lives a misery.
Yeah, the freaking Marlboro cowboy won't put down the coffin nail for 5 goddamn seconds.
Even when he's gambling, he has to keep smoking.
Go ahead, Ghoster.
Love when he loses, by the way, when Teruke loses the money and they all sort of log off to because you're poor, we can't associate with you now. I like they get it perfectly in order, which gives the implication the Black Club have thought about the situation and have rehearsed it. They perfectly timed their Zoom log-offs.
This is the second Regina George comment I'm about to make in our recording session today. But no, they were like Regina George's friends. They were ready to drop his ass. He sucks. He sucks.
To be fair, I wouldn't want to hang around Tanuki if I didn't have to. So immediately go.
Yeah, you don't know if that thing on his head is contagious or not, right? Well,
it won't be now because it's been pounded into dirt by Hiei.
Hiei did absolutely wreck his entire skull. If it's kind of the Batman problem here. Is Hiei didn't kill him directly, but the caved in parts of his skull are not going to let him survive very long.
When you've got a head that looks like it's shaped like a lemon, you got to get that juice.
Gotta get that juice.
You want to spread your stink, as he pointed out earlier. Imagine Tanuki going for a job after this. What have you been doing for the last 10? This is a 10-year gap in your resume. What have you been doing? Organised crime. Why did you stop? Well, this very short boy came and started punching me in the face.
The 7-year-old boy came in and just rocked my shit.
I probably should have known something was going on when the very strange camp guy started leaning on the wall in the shadows. Do you think Taruke noticed here? And Kurama was shh.
He thought that Kurama was like somebody's girlfriend who showed up, like just didn't look long enough and was like, okay, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
based on the white outfit, maybe he thought he was the waiter.
He could have thought he was the waiter, like he
Like,
was waiting for scotch.
finally, my jalapeno poppers are here.
Finally.
Oh no, EA!
Oh, no. He's gonna jalapeno pop you in the face.
Yeah, yeah. DoorDash, do you have my chalupa?
DoorDash, do you have my Kurama is gonna get that tip. You better tip Kurama. But what are our final thoughts for this episode and final thoughts for the first season of Yu Yu Hakusho?
Well, it's like for me, it feels like an abrupt end to a season, but I also know that it wasn't originally constructed as a season finale. So, but yeah, no, like I was saying earlier, it's been remarkable seeing the pacing of this. That's been the biggest standout for me, how brisk we've been moving through story. There really doesn't feel like there's much filler, and we love filler here. We love Goku and Piccolo going to driving school. We love all that. But this is lean. It runs pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode is a bit abrupt, and it is especially funny when you compare the next on in Japan and America, because in America they're trying to build it up. Oh, when Yu Yu Hakusho comes back, we've got this cool new thing going on, and the Japanese like, oh yeah, Togoro's back next week. Like it's treated like the most basic things. Like, yeah, we didn't kill him, turns out, but hey, fighting time. But yeah, no, the pacing. I think the sort of testament is I've been watching every of these episodes twice on Toonami and on the thing. And aside from the Toonami edits being often hard to get through because they're often nonsensical, I've been having a great time. Like I said, I've been adjusting my weekly schedule to get this done first because I don't want to wait, which I think is testament to a show that's this old and a show I've already seen to be like, actually, no, I need to make sure, everything else must stop till I've done these episodes because I want to know what happens. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like I said when we started this, Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time, and there are a lot of reasons for it. The pacing is great, the characters are great. It's so timeless for a shonen anime that it kind of withstands the test of time. But the other part of it too is Yu Yu Hakusho also brought one of the most important people in my life to me. My best friend Cassie and I met when we were 11 years old at Girl Scouts, and we both just liked Yu Yu Hakusho, and that she has been my best friend for 24 years now. Like that is just to date myself, so everybody knows how old I am. But no, Yu Yu Hakusho is something that means a lot to me on a personal level, and is just genuinely one of the best shonen anime out there. It really is. It holds up. The animation is great. The music is great. The characters are great. We're going to come back to it eventually, but we do have a new destination on our course for our anime rewatches. That's right. It is time for us to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again for joining us and talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next time. One last time, Spirit Gun!